Hey guys, what's up? This is CryptoCuber61 here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solve a 5x5 using the Hoya method. Now, for those of you who are wondering what Hoya method is basically another variation of Redux. It's basically Redux, but you rearrange the steps a little bit, as what Speaky Review said. And some of you may have heard of it from JPerm's video about the big cube methods. But here I'm going to be showing you a slightly more detailed overview of how Hoya works and what are its advantages and possible disadvantages. Just a note, to fully understand the video, you'll need to know intuitive F2L from 303 and how to solve the 5x5 using the Redux method, because the Hoya method is really just a rearrangement of steps from the Redux method. And for building the edges on Hoya method, building your cross edges, you'll need to know intuitive F2L from 303, because if you do, then these algorithms that can be found in intuitive F2L can transfer into building the cross edges for Hoya. And these are very important concepts to understand the Hoya method, especially for the last 3 walkthrough solves that I'll provide at the end of the video. So yeah, enjoy. Now the first step to solve the 5x5 using the Hoya method is to solve 2 opposite centers, but there's one exception. These centers, one of these centers can't be across centers. So for example, I solve from white, so I can not do white and yellow, so I can't solve these 2 centers first. I have to solve green and blue or orange and red. And in this case, green looks more appetizing, so I'm just going to solve that by solving that bar and then finding there's that thing. Okay. So now that there's that green center, flip it over and I can solve the blue center like so, like that. So now we have these 2 centers. Now for the second step, there's 2 scenarios you can go by. One where you solve the cross center first and one where you solve your cross center last. So looking at the cube right now, it looks like I can solve the cross center first. So I can solve white like that. Go like that, and after that I'm going to turn the cube up and then solve orange. So when you turn the cube up, make sure like the white center is facing away from you, it's on the back face. But you solve the orange center like that, and there you go. You got the white center pointing down and the other center pointing away from you, and that is the ideal position for you to do the third step, which is to solve the cross edges. Now the other route where you solve the cross center last, in this case red looks more appetizing than white, so I'm going to solve the cube the center like so. And after that you point the red center down, so it's facing down on the down face, so the white center is in front, and you can solve the white center like so. That does not look healthy. Alright, so the white center is solved, and when you rotate it, the white center should be facing down and the other center should be facing back, which is again the ideal position. Now the third step is where it diverges from Redux, because instead of solving these last 2 centers, we're going to keep them unsolved and solve the cross edges. And the way to do it is to solve these middle edges first and solve as many of them as possible. Don't worry about getting like all 4 of them if you can't see the last edge immediately, but I see it right here. We're just going to ignore this edge for now. But solve as many of them as possible that you can find, and if you can't find the last edge, you're going to find it in the 4th step. But the 4th step is where a bunch of F2L algorithms can translate onto this, because we're going to be inserting these outer edge pieces into here. So the best advice is to essentially just fiddle around with the cube until you can find like algorithms that work. But yeah, so for example, this edge, if it's like this and it has to go to here, then you can do this insert. And another example is like this, when this edge is over here, like this white edge, the white is facing towards you and it's supposed to go down here, you can do this insert. and so on and so forth until you solve all 4 cross edges. So yeah. Now the 5th step is to do FL or F prime R prime to solve to set up the last 2 centers, because you don't want to break the cross edges while solving them. Like so, and like that, you've solved the last 2 centers and these 4 cross edges, and after that it's basically just redux. Solve the last 8 edges and solve the rest like 3 by 3. So that's the Hoya method. Now for some walkthrough solves using the 5x5 Hoya method. So here I see that the blue center looks pretty appetizing because I can solve a T and then connect that bar, so it can solve that blue center. I see this edge, so I'm going to pair that up with this. And I see this bar in this corner, so I'm going to pair that up as well. And these 2 can go with this. And I can connect, I can solve the green center. Rotating, I see that white looks pretty appetizing, so I'm going to solve the cross center first. So like that. Now because we solved the cross center first, we're going to rotate it so the cross center is facing, is on the back face, and solve whatever's on top. In this case it's red, so we're going to solve for that. And now the next step, I see red and blue and red, so we're going to solve like this. There's that green over here. I don't see anything up. There's orange. Now for the cross edges, I see this edge has to go down here, so I'm going to do this corner inserting algorithm. I don't really know. This edge, if I do this, it doesn't fit, but it does set me up for this case. I see this blue edge, so I'm going to take it out and insert it by doing this. Now I see this green, do a D2, go like this. Now this orange center, orange edge, we're going to set it up like this, and then insert it in. And then I see this red in the back, so I'm going to take it out and put it in like this. And then that green, I can insert that really easily. And then this red, I can insert that insert that in like that. Do FL, solve for the last 2 centers. Now I see this pair, so I'm going to solve the blue and yellow, and then go on and so forth. Okay, go like this. Like that, and this is well, I'm going to do that to put these 2 edges in the back, so I can solve the last 4. Oh my god, wait a second, what the frick? Oh wait, there it is. So I can solve for the last 4 edges, and then solve for F2L and OLL. I don't know COLL, so that's sad. And there you go. Now for this next solve, I see that red looks pretty appetizing, so we're gonna do that and do this. Next is orange. We can go ahead and solve for that. Preserve this bar because yes. Now here, I see that green looks pretty good, but blue looks even better. So we're going to solve the cross center last. So there's the blue center, and now we have to rotate down. But because this center is not white, we have to do a Y2 rotation. Because if we just solve for yellow and go down, then we would solve the yellow cross, which I am not good at dual color neutral. Anyways, so this is not a cross color, so we rotate down. This is not white, we do a Y2 rotation. Solve for the white center, like this. Now find as many of these middle edges as possible. I see this blue one, and because I see these 2, I can insert it with some M moves. That's an orange, this is a red, Green I can't find immediately, so I'm going to solve this outer edge by inserting it in. I see this green edge, so I'm gonna insert that. See this orange, go like this, and now we do that. And then this red center. Now you notice that the way we solve the cross, the cross edges, it's like solving for F2L. But anyways, we have these two edges, so we're going to insert that in, insert the other one, FL, you know the drill, solve the last two centers, and continue on like it's, like we're pairing edges. That's what I was meant to say. Now, some people, after they solve 4 edges, they usually solve it with at least 2 adjacent F2L pairs, so they can solve for F2L really quickly, which is something I don't do pretty often, so yeah. But when you solve the back F2L pairs, then you have less F2L pairs to work with on the 3x3 stage, which is even better. So yeah. So we can do that, and then go like this. That's not the right algorithm. G-perm. And there you go.